Happy anniversary!
What?
It's episode 53.
Is it?
It's podcast number 53. It's our anniversary, you and me. And it would have been Leon's if he didn't cheat on us with that godforsaken wife of his.
I'm trying to think, there was something I wanted to say earlier. I was like,
was it happy anniversary? Because you fucking haven't said anything of the sort to me. Here I am thinking that I'm the only one that put any effort. God damn it, Austin, I baked you a cake. I didn't really, but I thought about it just before I said that.
Is this going to be one of those casts?
Probably. I'm feeling a little fighty today. I don't know what it is.
Oh shit, Taylor's on.
Uh-oh!
Can we bring him into the call, or will he...
I believe we can bring him into the call.
I mean, is there... Oh, okay, hold on. He's writing me. His little pencil's moving. Does that sound dirtier?
There's a joke there.
Yeah.
Damn it. His little. I was gonna say something like, well, every time he sees me online, I'm pretty sure his little pencil moves.
Okay, I just brought him in because I was tired of waiting to see if he could figure it out.
Hi, Taylor.
Hello.
Where have you been, young man? Your father and I have been worried sick, and also Austin was a little weirded out.
I was on the train. I just got home, so.
Was it a bad day for the train?
No, it was normal.
They still make trains? I didn't know there were some trains.
Still do that.
No, get this, Austin. They have to make a train maybe once or twice, and then they use the same one over and over again.
I thought they were disposable.
No, green, man, recyclable.
By the way, did you see this Square Enix article? A lot of people were mad at me.
Oh, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. I kept forgetting. Oh, hey, Taylor, did you hear that Persona 4 is on the Vita?
Yeah.
10 people in the YouTube comments.
I said there's no
which Square Enix article is this? I'm just curious.
We did a little Thumb Wars thing.
Yeah, me and Taylor.
Okay, yeah. I got it.
Okay. In the cast, he was like, yeah, there aren't a lot of RPGs in the Vita, and a bunch of people in the YouTube comments were like, Persona's on the Vita. I just wanted him to do that.
No fucking shit. My
that Nicolas Cage face.
You don't say.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a poor idea. You never kick the Kingdom Hearts hornet's nest.
It wasn't even Kingdom Hearts. There were people that were like, no way, Final Fantasy 13 is amazing. I'm really looking forward to the last Lightning Returns. And then I posted an article. I'm like, you realize that 13.2 sold less than half of 13, right? And Lightning Returns is probably going to do even worse.
It literally doesn't matter. They could have sold 3 copies of it. And people would...
man.
Yeah, I never again will I do an article about Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. This is not worth it. It's not worth the stress.
No. Who's got birds chirping in the background?
That might be me.
God damn it, Johnny.
I'm sorry. I live in an idyllic world. There are birds chirping, children with...
Snow White motherfucker up in here.
No, fucking Snow White? Fuck you, dude. I'm like Sleeping Beauty.
They're interchangeable white people to me.
All right, fine.
I can't tell the difference.
Oh, good God.
Wow, yeah, people are mad at you guys.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, I'm just browsing some of the comments right here.
But yeah, I mean, that's...
Brings people out of the woodworks.
It always happens, though, when you touch on someone's, whatever they hold dear, they feel like they have to speak up. Same thing happened with Persona, where I had a bunch of people come out and try to explain things to me as if I was, 5. I was like, no, I know. In fact, that's actually what I said. Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
You're not even disagreeing with me. People were, lecturing me on the exact same opinions I espoused, which is interesting. Internet.
Oh, Internet.
Did you read, there was an article with the guy who did the Antechamber. You know that game you replayed?
Yep, yeah, I know Antechamber.
And he was saying how he gets hundreds of nice emails every day, but he gets one bad one and it ruins his day. He was talking about how he feels like a worthless piece of shit, and he was talking about how he wanted to crash his car one day. It was really depressing, but it ruined his life.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, we are more susceptible, I think, indubitably to negative criticism than we are positive reinforcement. It's the way that, the human brain is wired to be negative, because if we're fucking freaking out, if we're so worried that we don't have any food, and we're super concerned that something's going to kill us, then it's more likely that we're going to avoid things that might kill us and make sure that we have plenty of food. It works evolutionarily in our favor to be fucking neurotic. But, we've reached a day and age where being neurotic about shit now is when somebody sends you an email that's like, your article could have used a little bit of polish. You're like, oh my God! I worked so hard on that!
You were talking about an antechamber guy wanting to kill himself. Have you guys seen, Indie Game, the movie? Like, Phil Fish literally has, a mental breakdown on camera. He's like, yeah, I'm probably going to kill myself.
Yeah. I really like that movie. That was good. Phil Fish gets so much shit. Have you seen his Twitter account?
Yeah. Well, he dishes out so much shit. He asked for it, man.
I don't know.
People who throw stones shouldn't live in glass houses.
I haven't seen him say...
Don't take a shit on a plate unless you're willing to eat it.
I don't know. I feel bad for him, man, because,
I sympathize for him. I do, but, there is such a thing as baiting.
How much is he supposed to take? Fuck.
Well, he was like, all Japanese games suck. I'm like, what are you supposed to say to that?
There's nothing wrong. Taylor, you know better than anyone that being wrong is just a thing that happens to people.
It is. It just happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen to me. I've never been wrong. Ever.
I think he is, demonstrably mathematically wrong about that statement, but that doesn't mean he deserves, orchestrated campaigns of abuse all day, every day.
I think it does, actually. I think that's exactly what it means.
Taylor's like, yeah, that'll teach him.
Well, you know what? Here's where I've come to. I've just embraced that people have differing opinions. I used to be a people pleaser. I'm sure you guys know that pretty well. But now I'm just like, fuck it. Who cares? If you don't agree with me, then whatever. I don't really care.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Taylor, did you hear about the I think it was Xseed, and they're thinking about localizing the boob game?
Okay, so here's the thing about the boob game.
I like it that we're not even calling it by its name. It is just the boob game.
Well, everybody knows what we mean.
I know, but it's fascinating.
So, if we publish this on the podcast, cut this part out. But I was talking to the guys at they want to publish it, but half the office thinks the game's kind of too risque or whatever. But they bought it and they played it, and they're trying to get the whole office to go in on it, and if they will, they're going to localize it because he said it's a good game. Boobs aside, the game's actually fun.
It looks so stupid. It's
stupid fun. It's it's like Dynasty Warriors with a bunch of hot chicks.
They're not though. They're all gross and plastic and creepy. I've seen it. It's weird.
No way, man. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about, Austin. Go eat some more gator meat and drive your Bayou fan car thing.
Dude, I drive those things all the time, and gator meat's delicious.
I'm sure it is. And
Go back to the Froyo stand, Yorsky.
The Froyo stand.
Wait, so I'm not allowed to report that looking into it?
No, because he told me it was sort of off the record or whatever, because it's not any sort of official thing. They don't really know if they're going to do it yet. And if that leaks, he probably... I don't know if he'll know it's me, but...
Right back to you.
Yeah. But
I don't give a fuck.
There were a couple times, with the Dragon Ball Z thing, I probably shouldn't have known that Dragon Ball Z Connect was a thing. But, there was a guy who's like, yeah, I have this friend that works at Namco, and he's testing this game, Dragon Ball Z Connect. I'm like, what? And I didn't even ask anybody. I just wrote the article.
Yeah, I know. But the good thing about that is that we can take credit for breaking the story, but if you're wrong, we aren't so high profile that it'll be super embarrassing. We can just sweep it under the rug if you fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I see. There are probably rumors I hear all the time I wouldn't post, but I knew for sure that was a thing. So yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll do an article on that. That's worthy.
Also, they're called airboats, Taylor, not fan boats.
Fan boat, whatever. It's got a big fan on the back. I'm
a big fan of you guys.
That's all I ever wanted to hear.
Can I go now?
Don't we have a podcast to start?
I think this is good. We can call it a day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Unready, the online support podcast for people who were not ready to rock and had it traumatize them in a number of different ways. Today on the podcast, I am joined by my co-host, Austin, who was not ready to rock 3 years ago when he was asked by the band Kiss if he was ready to rock, and then before even waiting for his response, they proceeded to rock. Austin, say hello.
I wouldn't be caught dead at a Kiss concert, Johnny.
And we are also joined today by Taylor Hoyt, who, rather than not being ready to rock, was not ready for this when Technotronic visited his town 4 years ago, having been severely traumatized in the process. Taylor, it's excellent to see you.
Well, I can't actually see you, but it's good to hear your sexy Canadian voice. And I was probably too busy at a K-pop concert to be ready to rock.
No, you weren't ready for this. Austin was ready to rock, and I wasn't ready. Guar was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "No." And they didn't listen. They didn't listen.
You should have known what you were in for. I'm victim blaming you, Johnny.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I was young. I was naive. I thought they would respect my wishes. Who would assume that a band named Guar would be so callous?
See, now, I don't know if this is just my brain, but all I can think about is how many of these musical references are going over the listeners' heads.
All I can think of is Beavis and Butthead. They used to love Guar so hard.
Yeah, Guar was a thing.
Guar was a thing.
Guar probably is still a thing, actually. And Green Jelly. Green Jelly was a thing, too.
For the record, Detroit Rock City is a good song, but Kiss, in general, sucks.
I'm merely suggesting, Austin, that they're particularly famous for asking people if they're ready to rock.
No, I got the joke, Johnny. I didn't want to play along.
That is why you fail.
I'm sorry.
No, there's a couple of other reasons why. But
we don't have time for that.
For the purposes of this conversation explicitly, that is the sole reason why you fail.
I don't want to talk about video games, guys.
What do you know? I'm over it. Let's talk about some other stuff.
How about those hockeys? How about them Sharks sweeping the Canadian people, huh? Yeah.
Oh my God, they laid down and died.
The Sharks literally ate them. The Lol Nucks couldn't do anything.
What's the farthest the Sharks have ever gotten in the playoffs? I feel like they haven't made it past the first round in like years.
No, they usually go like maybe 1 or 2 rounds deep. They've never made it to the finals. But yeah, they're always there. They're always hanging around.
Yeah. We'll see. I think it's going to be Blackhawks again.
No way. Well, that's who we're going to play next, theoretically.
Is this the first person plural there? You are the Sharks?
I am the Sharks.
I thought I recognized some of those players.
Just Taylor is every single person on the San Jose Sharks?
Taylor is Legion. It makes reading the jerseys a little difficult, but, you know. And sport commentating, oh man. Hoyt passes to Hoyt. Back to Hoyt. Hoyt goes for the spinorama.
The one-timer by Hoyt.
One-timer by Hoyt. The save gets made. Oh, breakaway on Hoyt. Hoyt saves! There's been a penalty to Hoyt and Hoyt.
Now I really want to play hockey with you guys. I wouldn't actually try to score. I'd just check the shit out of all of you.
Yes, but what you misunderstand, Austin, is that I am Canadian, and that means I can skate.
No, I can't. I was thinking I used to be able to skate okay, but now I probably can't skate at all anymore.
No,
it's been a while.
I can fucking skate.
Okay, shit. Well, I'll have to corner you.
I learned there are no corners in a fucking hockey rink. It's like oval.
Not literally corners. You're a dick.
Trap him on the side.
You know what I meant.
You're gonna get me in the locker room after the game?
Yeah.
I think that's a different kind of assault. You're just not letting me get away with anything today.
Me? I told you.
Yeah.
I'm in a fighty mood. I told you.
It's been a while since anyone's gotten the better of me on here. I feel like the last couple of things I've recorded have just been me beating up on Taylor.
Oh, well, I ain't laying down and taking it anymore, Austin. You're going down.
I disagree strongly.
I disagree even more strongly, so there. I win.
Oh, you kicked it up a notch.
Yeah, look out.
So I guess we probably should talk about video games, guys. There's a lot of news this week. Have you guys been hearing all the pre-E3 stuff? BioWare has a new game they're going to announce. DICE has a new game they're going to announce. Ubisoft, same. New Gran Turismo.
I'm a little skeptic that BioWare's game that they're going to quote unquote announce is just the Command and Conquer title they've been working on.
You're probably right. They're probably going to unveil it, quote unquote, at the EA press conference if they do one. They haven't announced one yet, but
because honestly, that's all that ever happens at E3 anymore. Nobody just walks in and says, "Oh, hey guys, guess what? We're making a game. It's about dirt."
There was like one.
Watch Dogs was the only game that was a surprise last year that like came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but even then, like the state at which Watch Dogs was at, like it was unveiling just as much as it was announcing.
So you're saying nobody literally announces a game with a title and then that's it, is what you're getting at?
Yeah, nobody says, oh hey, we got a deal to make this anymore. Like it's
you want to see stuff.
Well, because E3 has become less and less a press event and more a publicity event. Where you can just as easily as a guy who likes to sit around with his hands in his pockets and chew the same piece of beef jerky for an unreasonably long amount of time, log on to your YouTube and be like, I wonder what Sony's gonna say. And like just see it for yourself. There's no medium at E3 anymore. Everybody films it. Everybody broadcasts it. Like it's like going to the movies not to see a movie, but to watch a collection of trailers for other movies. Like no press man is going to be like, hot damn, scoop, exclusive, when they know that it's just going to go up on the internet like 10 minutes later, right?
Yeah.
That said, I do know that there are like, sort of like special things that happen at E3 where you get to go behind the scenes and like see games in action and play them and then talk about them and stuff like that. But for the most part, all the announcements, all the flash and zazz, all the things that are like, surprise! Yeah, you see it on the internet now. You see it on the internet before fucking E3. Like day zero conferences? What the fuck is that? But so yeah,
before E3 even starts, yeah.
Yeah, so then it's. I mean, yeah. So BioWare, they're just gonna be like, yay, Command and Conquer.
Do we think that they're gonna do a new Star Wars before they finished whatever Mass Effect thing they're working on?
I bet you they haven't even started any of these Star Wars games yet.
Yeah, Austin was saying that the ink has really just dried. We've got that projects are in motion. Like, you've got guys sitting around a table going, what about Star Wars Tales of the Avocado Smuggler?
Jar Jar Binks experience.
Yeah, and other guys going, nah, I don't know about that,
I'm sure it's just going to be Knights of the Old Republic 3 and Battlefront 7. I don't even know what number they're on.
I really would have liked to have been in those pitch rooms, to tell you the truth, because I just know there are a bunch of, like, old-school gamers in there that are all, like, sit down and they're like, Jedi Knight 3. No. Oh, come on! TIE Fighter 2? No. Oh, you're killing me!
I'd play the shit out of a new Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I probably would too, actually.
I don't know. I've said this before on the podcast, but, like, my affection for Star Wars is pretty much over. Like, it's okay or whatever. I'm not super excited about any of these, and I am excited about what they're going to do with the Mass Effect universe. So if Star Wars ends up delaying those plans, I'm going to be a little upset, personally.
Yeah, I'm with you, Austin. I don't really care. I was mildly excited about 1313, but then I was kind of reading ancillary articles from people that actually seen it, and they said it wasn't really that interesting, and that project's probably dead, and they were saying that whoever Visceral or whatever EA studio does the action game will probably not finish it, so I could really care less at this point. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
They're not going to, in any case, they're not going to announce something like that. They're not going to be like, and BioWare is working on Star Wars, Chronicle of the Five-Bladed Shaver.
It's funny that we mentioned there not being anything like interesting for press to see at E3, because I remember when we saw Prey 2, I think it was 2011, that was
God.
It was so good. And I don't think any of that footage that we saw has been released to the public, has it? They released a couple like cinematic trailers, but no one else has seen that gameplay that we saw, have they?
I think there was a little bit released.
I saw like a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that there's been no gameplay released, but I can't speak to the stuff that you guys got to see.
It looks super good, and that's like that. If that showed up again, that would be like my game of E3.
Would be awesome.
I'm thinking it probably will. I'm thinking it might make a showing at E3 this year. Because other than that, the only thing Bethesda has coming out of the gate is fucking Elder Scrolls Online, and whoop-de-doo, everybody's like super fucking excited for that.
No.
What about Wolfenstein?
And The Evil Within? I'm pretty pumped about The Evil Within. That's going to be cool.
I don't think The Evil Within is that far along, considering that the announcement was a live-action trailer.
Yeah, apparently IGN went to their office to see it, and they showed them a bit 30 minutes of gameplay or something. They said it's 2014. It's definitely next gen, next year, but maybe it'll be something.
We could see it. It's conceivable we could see something from The Evil Within.
You guys totally wasted my Wolfenstein segue.
Yeah, because...
Blew it.
Well, I'm sorry. We might as well talk about it, though, now that you've brought it up.
Sorry.
Well, in case you didn't know, they're making a new Wolfenstein. You know, like the old Wolfenstein, except newer. And, I mean, I think we've reached a point in time in video games where we can say that the rebooting, reimagining, etc. Process is now, I think, officially saturating the market.
Now it's just getting outright silly.
It is getting a little silly. And I mean, considering that Wolfenstein's last outing is really only 3 years old, I think it was. I think it was 2000. No, it was 4 years. It was 2009, I think. And even then, it wasn't particularly well received, as I recall it.
As I recall, everyone was basically, it's a first-person shooter.
So
that's the bare minimum.
So what do you do when, you've got a first-person shooter that people are like, yeah, you shoot Nazis, and I guess that's the thing. You do it again! Voice in the industry and legendary designer Warren Spector has some things to say about the new Wolfenstein game. Apparently, in a post on Facebook, Warren Spector wrote, and I quote, "Did the world really need another Wolfenstein game? Did we need a generically dark, monochromatic FPS kill the Nazi giant robot game? No, the world did not. I am so tired of stuff like this. Oh, and could we all agree that we'll never use the generic gravelly whisper trailer voice guy ever again? And one more thing, please stop using Jimi Hendrix to promote your adolescent male power fantasies." So Warren Spector dropped the mic and walked off stage.
What's funny is that the last time we talked about him on this podcast, it was when he had a speech basically where he showed himself to be super out of touch with what was going on, and I was pretty, especially after playing Epic Mickey 2. I don't know if say suffering through Epic Mickey 2. I was pretty much ready to write him off, and here it does come off a little bit like old man yelling at clouds, but I sort of agree with him. I don't know.
Well, just because he may very well be an old man yelling at clouds, which I'm really sorry, but there's been a lot of this kind of happening lately. I think a lot of old designers or mouthing off or voicing up about things that I'm like,
it's probably just shut your mouth.
Probably, I remember when Richard Garriott said in an interview to somebody that, he was the only guy in the whole gaming industry that was any good. And I was like,
except for everyone else.
Maybe you should make a game, that's less than a decade old. And Cliff Bleszinski, of course, who doesn't work in gaming anymore, but that's not going to stop Cliff from mouthing off about how, I don't know, whatever the most unpopular trend with gamers is actually a good thing for your face, and if you don't agree with them, shut your face, because I'm Cliff Bleszinski, and I'll headbutt you into next week. But, I mean, the thing is that Warren Spector he's hardly saying anything avant-garde.
Yeah, I feel like he's basically summing up popular opinion here. A lot of people have been giving him a lot of flack for these comments. I mean, the game has a right to exist. No one's stifling the people's right to make a Wolfenstein game. I just think that probably it's not going to sell well because no one cares.
Don't you know, though, Austin, that the voices of people who want to make games where you shoot Nazis are trampled over by the freedom of expression-loving, innovative, fascist majority of indie game developers who are just want to see innovation and will... You're right. Nobody gives a shit.
We talked about this before, but there's like so much cynicism and negativity in the industry when there's so much exciting shit going on that it's really hard to like let yourself get bogged down in this. It's like, yes, it's another boring first-person shooter where everyone's, dark and gloomy and broody, and it'll be gone and we'll never think about it ever again. But there's still a lot of other cool stuff happening that I feel like probably someone should sit him down and show him all the stuff he's missing.
I don't understand why people can't admit to themselves that they don't have to care about something. That they can be like, oh, look, a new Wolfenstein game. I'm going to go make a sandwich.
No, don't you understand, Johnny? You have to express your dislike for everything on the internet. That is what Twitter is for.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I always get kind of defensive when I see people who haven't made anything good in a while talking shit, because how long has it been since Deus Ex, guys?
But don't you know, Austin, that God of War 3 has the best boobs in the industry?
I believe that's Ascension, not 3.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they had the same boob artist.
All right, God of War Ascension, I'm sorry. For those of you who have made discerning studies between the boob quality in God of War 3 and God of War Ascension, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for lumping them together.
Thank you.
You sound like you're joking, Johnny. It's a serious topic. There's all kinds of like textures, and you got the bump mapping, and it's serious business.
It's hard work, and as hard work, that means it is entirely above criticism.
If you work, A for effort, everybody.
Yeah, that's the way the gaming industry works. You made a crappy game. Yeah, but we worked hard on it, so leave me alone. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. If every game that was worked on hard should sell well, then everything would sell well.
Like, I'm sorry, but there's...
Or maybe the opposite. Games that sell well probably did take a lot of effort, like sports games.
There's such a thing, I'm going to blow your mind here, there's such a thing as a shitty doctor. You can go to school and go into, like, super huge amounts of debt and work your ass off and be like, get your way through school, get your degree, put your lab coat on, get your cold stethoscope, stick it on people's butts, and be like, take this bottle of pills. And you can be bad at your job, and you can still be earning money hand over fist. That doesn't make you a good doctor.
There's a career path where you can just stick stethoscopes to people's butts.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I missed out. Like that.
Yeah, where can I get that job?
I'm sorry, Austin. You must have had the wrong high school guidance counselor.
What, stethoscopes are like the listening devices, right? I feel like an idiot. That's what I'm not getting confused, right? Why would you be listening to someone's butt?
Why wouldn't you be listening to someone's butt?
Fair enough, I guess.
I'm sorry, you get a job where literally you can walk into any room with anybody and be like, take your pants off. And they'll be like, okay.
I think that statement said a lot more about you than anything else. You just think that being a doctor means you can just command people to take their pants off, like that is the job.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that there comes
Johnny Maloney, pants sorcerer.
You, I command you, remove thy breeches. I'm sorry, doctor, what was that? Would you please take your pants off?
I'd watch that medical drama.
There we go, pants sorcerer. I'm gonna pitch the idea to FX tonight.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about Warren Spector, and Warren Spector saying he's so tired of stuff like Wolfenstein. But yeah, I don't believe he's exactly taken a huge leap here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you really, really saying something so incredibly unpopular if you're like, I don't really care for Call of Duty? Taylor says it like every week we have here. He's like, guys, I hate first-person shooters.
We're talking about something completely unrelated. We'll be sitting here doing like boner jokes, and I'll be like, I really hate Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's just like, everything sets me off on hating stuff. Why do you think I'm not saying anything? Because I'm pretty much echoing Warren Spector's thoughts. Like Wolfenstein, couldn't give two shits. So I'll let Johnny keep doing his thing.
So, I mean, why is somebody getting upset about this? I mean, is Bethesda going to stop? Are they going to be like, oh, man.
They just shut that shit down.
You don't want it? You don't want it? Okay, well, Warren Spector said it. We don't need it, so we might as well just stop.
You guys, back to the drawing board. Warren Spector said he wasn't a fan.
Oh, I don't know how relevant some of these people are anymore. It's kind of sad. Like, I just thought he would be doing cool stuff for the rest of his career instead of Epic Mickey and being angry about things that don't affect him.
Welcome to being old. You're a lot less relevant. Things piss you off, but you feel that other people should know.
I mean, just kind of, I guess it's on the same topic. Do we care about Wolfenstein? Have you guys seen the trailer?
I didn't even bother watching it. It has come to the point in time where, honestly, I'm like, you know what? I know what to expect.
It's Wolfenstein.
It's fucking Wolfenstein. There are going to be a bunch of Nazis. You're going to be an American soldier. You're going to shoot some Nazis. And at some point in time, it's going to jump the rails and do something fucking weird.
And, of course, Hitler. He's going to be a giant mech robot that shoots lasers.
Well,
yeah, like
he
the
was
hook on this.
He was the end of the third campaign in the original Wolfenstein. Not lasers, but he was in this big fucking robot suit with machine guns on each hand. And
see, I was being sarcastic, and I was right.
No, that's not even like a reimagining. That's what you call a re-wallpapering of Wolfenstein.
I thought you were joking, Taylor. You really didn't know about Robo Hitler?
No, I've never played Wolfenstein.
That's awesome.
See, I didn't know that fucking Robo Hitler's in this new game.
They didn't show Robo Hitler in the trailer, but they showed a bunch of really big robots.
Okay, so we're gonna get Robo Hitler then.
Probably, yeah. The hook on this one is it's like alternate universe. Nazis won World War III. You are from the trailer. It looks like you were like the only soldier left. It's just like you versus 100 giant robots.
So what you're telling me is that this is Homefront : Wolfenstein : no, really, it's the original Wolfenstein, only Homefront : robot Nazis, bitch.
You know what they actually could have done that would have made this game cool is sort of take an Inglourious Bastards angle with it and make it co-op. Everybody loves throwing co-op and stuff, right?
God, don't even start with that shit, Taylor.
But seriously, wouldn't that be even if you're well, we kind of saw Inglourious Bastards and that inspired our game because everybody loves that movie, and that would have been it's like Inglourious Bastards? That's cooler than just another shooter. You know what I mean?
It's called Furious 4. Previously known as Brothers in Arms Furious 4, or as I like to call it, Brothers in Arms 2 Furious 4 Führer.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. I've shot so many things in video games at this point. I don't even know if I can do it anymore. That would be interesting. If there's any way to calculate how many people I've shot in video games, it has to be war crime levels.
I'm sure.
Billions.
In the words of Eddie Izzard, there's got to come a point in time where you kill so many people that people don't know how to react to it, except to say, "Well done." Congratulations! You've killed 100,000 people. You must get up very early in the morning.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. The whole wheel of cheese.
There's that moment where you just you cross over the line and people start going, "Wow, that's impressive." Fucking hot dog eating contest. How's that for you? You eat a hot dog and people are like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you?" You eat fucking 26 hot dogs, people are like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though because I was reading some stuff earlier because BioShock.
I'm glad that we all just glazed over the fact that I just compared mass genocide to eating a bunch of hot dogs.
Well, I mean, if we were vegans, I'm sure it'd be a better comparison.
Yeah, but vegans don't deserve to talk about anything because they've never experienced cheese. And if you've never experienced cheese, I do not trust your scale of things that are awesome to things that are not.
This has been a weird ass episode already,
That's right,
man.
I'm gonna rip on the vegans. You were saying about BioShock, Austin.
Oh yeah, because BioShock was supposed to be like the first-person shooter that's not really a first-person shooter, right? It's supposed to like break the mold and be different.
Are we talking about Infinite specifically here?
Yes, recently, because Taylor, who is very opposed to first-person shooters, gave it a try, and I was kind of like hopeful that he would be able to enjoy it, but apparently he did not enjoy it very much. And then I saw some figures earlier today that it sold like 20 copies in Japan, despite being like super, polished and nice looking, but they just didn't give a shit. And I just thought it was funny, just like culturally, how apparently there's still a huge market for just like any game with guns in America, where other people just don't see the appeal at all.
I don't understand the marketing of BioShock Infinite as being a first-person shooter that's not a first-person shooter. It was such a first-person shooter.
Well, apparently to its detriment, yeah.
Well, that's what people said they didn't like about it, was the combat was not very good.
The best joke I saw was Robert Boyd from Z-Boyd Games said that for the Japanese edition they should have just took all the shooting out and replaced them with dating sim elements.
Probably would have fucking sold.
Definitely.
Go to the local barber shop. Decide on what kind of shave you want. You earned 3 charm points. Yay!
I actually cut this out on when me and Taylor were doing the Square Enix talk. We had a discussion about like cultural differences in Vocaloid games and stuff. Like it's really strange to see what sells in one region and not in another.
Well, you are talking about, even though everybody says that the world is like super connected now and that attitudes are, only an email or like a hyperlink click away. We are talking essentially about civilizations of people who have thousands and thousands of years of hang-ups and industry and values and like all these things that predicate the situation that they're in today. And like this is a very big thing I know in America is like USA #1. Best country in the world.
We're #1, USA, America.
I gotta tell you, like, so many people think that way. Every country in the world is all like, wow, I would really rather not live anywhere. As long as we're not, completely crossing over the line and being like, where the best place in the world is? Somalia.
You know what's funny that you say that, Johnny? Because I feel like most Americans, we think that, but then we also think the rest of the world hates us.
Oh, they do.
Okay, just making sure that's clear.
Not as people, like as a unit. You know how you can like have a friend that's in a group of people and you'd be like, I like that guy, but then these people are all fucked up and you're like, whoa, those people are dicks.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about maybe religion. I know some very nice religious people, and I got no problems with them, and I don't feel the need to be like, why do you believe in religion? It's stupid, because I'm like, I'm comfortable, you're comfortable, we don't have to talk about it, that's fine.
I think we can just say officially that we derailed this podcast. Let's just go. Let's just be terrible. Let's politics, religion, it's just all out.
Yeah, fucking run with it. But, yeah, so thank you for steering me back here, Austin, because I would have gone off.
Yeah, I saved you.
Yeah, I peered into the abyss and discovered it was looking back.
Did you use some pant sorcery to escape?
Yeah, absolutely. I created a pants decoy and then transplanted myself, which is wordplay. Transplanted.
No, I got it.
All right,
That's
okay.
As
long as we're on the same level here. But yeah, I mean, you are talking about like thousands of years of hang-ups and like superstitions and superstition. Superstition is a perfect example. We're talking about Japan. Superstition in Asia is like crazy fucking off the wall nuts. They are like, and I don't like to lump in whole regions of people and be like, man, those Baltic people. But superstition in Asia is like super intense. It's weird. It freaks me out, man. All you have to do is just look at all of the horror movies that come out of the Asian region. They are so superstitious. Like, horror movies that come out of North America are like, guess what? There's a killer! Oh, run! He stabbed you! oh, there's blood. But horror movies in Asia are all like, you pick up a phone and you like press the 4 button, and then that unleashes an ancestor's ghost that died on the 4th day of the 4th month in the year 1944, and and then it's all like, in order to cleanse the ghost, you have to take this phone and bury it in a hunk of lead that you have formed out of the pencils of innocent children. And
are we gonna stop him? I feel. I feel
Johnny, you want to hear about an actual weird Asian? What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
Tradition, superstition.
Superstition. I mean, I was talking to Austin about this, and he didn't believe me that it was an actual thing, and he had to look it up. But in Korea, they believe that if you fall asleep with a fan on, that you will die because the fan will suck all the air out of the room, and that's literally a thing that people believe.
See, that's fucked up.
Guys, want to just make fun of other people's beliefs for an hour?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the reason why it's fucked up is not because it's not because like these people don't have access to the information, right? Because the information's there. Like you could probably go on Google and be like, if I fall asleep with a fan on, will it kill me? And the first hit you're gonna get is like, no.
No. Well, this is kind of the stuff me and him were talking about. It's like, I wonder if they are freaked out by our stuff. Like, they have to be, right? There's no way that it wouldn't work the other way around.
Probably.
We're talking about how Call of Duty is starting to catch on over there.
Seriously?
It's like, slowly but surely, yeah. And I was just wondering, like, what about it is more palatable to them than perhaps, like, previous attempts to bring over our bloody military America Saves the World games. But also, I'm going to have to cut this out of the beginning, but Taylor and I talked about the boob game earlier and how companies are afraid to localize it because that there might be a backlash. Xseed kind of publicly made comments. They said they were like frightened was the word they used of localizing it because it might end up on Fox News as video game company releases pedo porn.
The boob game.
The boob game. Oh, it's okay to chop people's arms off and shoot them in the head, but boobs? Oh, no, we can't do that. It's not like people have those.
It's totally unrealistic, Taylor. No one has boobs.
Nobody.
I know some guys who have boobs.
You guys. Oh, you guys.
But yeah, it's just weird. Because you feel all safe in your little cultural bubble, and then you see other people's bubbles, and they're all different and freaky, and then you want to pop their bubbles. I want to pop your guys' bubbles.
I'll pop your bubble all day and all night.
Wait, but you can only pop it once. How can you continue to pop it for extended periods?
I don't know. You can get some bubble machines or something. I don't know.
Recurring naivete.
Yeah.
You need one of those people who has like one of those short memory to long memory disorders.
Taylor and I are just going to remake 50 First Dates.
What? What does that do with anything?
Because of the memory disorder thing. Never mind. You've never seen that movie?
No, I have. With Adam Sandler, yeah.
How does that not make sense? It's literally what he's talking about.
I was thinking of a different movie.
Keep up, Taylor.
I was thinking of, like, Can't Hardly Wait or some other teen high school romance movie or something. I'm like, what the hell? Where'd you get that?
You just don't want to be Drew Barrymore.
You know, I was really hoping for the fat Hawaiian guy in the pancake shop, but I'll settle for Drew Barrymore.
Once again, it's like the third. What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
I think we should move along.
So that Penny Arcade thing, how about that?
Holy shit, yeah.
Jesus Christ, Taylor, could you at least try to have some, like, suave transitions here?
No, I have no transition skill. I just go right at it.
All right. Well, this is just about as recent. This is like bloody news. Like it's still twitching. Is what this news. I'm using a slaughterhouse analogy. Relax, because I still got a hate on for the vegans. Excuse me. This is the freshest news that you'll get. You stick this news in the fire, and you will get a nice thick steak of news. Today, Penny Arcade announced another Kickstarter. Now, that sounds a little ominous when I say another, as if they had one that was running already and they decided to double dip, as the industry term is. But no. Regular listeners and people who pay attention and otherwise obsessive people may know that I think it was last year, Penny Arcade attempted to run a Kickstarter, and I think successfully. They didn't score huge on their stretch goals, but successfully enough to remove the ads from Penny Arcade. Well, they've started kickstarting another project today. The goal is $10.
Real ambitious, I tell you, real ambitious.
Yeah.
They made it literally seconds.
Yeah. And the purpose was to renew, to bring back, to reinvigorate, to raise from the dead the Penny Arcade podcast, which I believe is called Downloadable Content.
It's at $43,000 as of this recording.
So that's kind of a thing.
So I think we should just go ahead and say that the backlash to this was swift and angry. Has anybody else been following this?
Yeah, pretty astounding.
This is going on as we record.
Yeah, it continues the bedlam while we speak.
Because we talked about this last time they did a Kickstarter, where technically they're not breaking any rules, but we feel as though perhaps they're misusing the spirit of this platform, which was, at least in our minds, for letting people get attention and funding they might otherwise not be able to secure. Where in the case, Penny Arcade most certainly could afford to do a podcast, considering we are doing one, and we are poor as shit.
Yeah, but Austin, don't you know, they don't make money from their ads anymore.
Well, that's because they have the $1 million or so they got from the Kickstarter.
See, here was my understanding of the no ad Kickstarter thing. It was so that they could do other projects that weren't as risky, so they could, because normally you have to make certain relative comics, so it's like, oh, we got to get enough the site hits to make up for other stuff. But a point of the no ad thing was we can have the money that we normally would have and we can make whatever we want. And I assume that type of content would include a podcast like this. So it almost sort of defeats the purpose of their original Kickstarter in the first place. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I think the way they worded it was that they didn't want to feel bad when they wrote negative comics about people who had all advertised on their site. So if there just was no ads, then they wouldn't be accountable to anyone.
Got it.
It also could have been to other projects, but I mean, they have a bunch of other projects going anyway, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Successful ones as well. The Penny Arcade Report, Penny Arcade TV.
What is that, Strip Search?
Strip Search. Yeah. I'm sure they probably earn a reasonable amount of money off of PAX. PAX
oh, yeah.
PAX East, I mean, that doesn't seem like it would be a sink to me.
They're all working hard, they're very talented, and they're funny people, but it does kind of seem like, I don't know, guys, is this what Kickstarter's for? You just throw it up every time you just want to see how much money that your fans will throw you?
I don't know, because, I mean, seriously, $10, that's ridiculous. Because obviously they were going to get $10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why they put it so low, because obviously they're going to hit it. So basically they might as well have said zero. It's just how much money will you guys give us for a thing that we could do anyway?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people on NeoGAF were reporting them for a variety of different reasons. I think one of them was that this is not an actual thing. Because I think one of the things is you can't use it to promote something, and you can't use it for charity or whatever. So I really feel like this is just a promotion thing more than anything else. Because like you said, they don't have mics lying around to record a podcast? I mean, get real.
Now, while that may be true, whether or not Kickstarter is actually going to clamp down on this is another matter altogether.
Well, yeah, they take a percentage off the top.
Yeah, let's remember
they have no incentive.
Kickstarter is in bed with everybody who comes on their site to plead, beg, propose, campaign, however you want to word it. And with the star power of Penny Arcade backing a Kickstarter, I mean, there's a little bit of irony here, because if Penny Arcade's first Kickstarter campaign was indeed to, not be beholden to the people who were providing them with their paychecks, namely the advertisers, let's see if that this truly is the case here, that they're honestly campaigning for a $10 podcast for publicity or what have you, let's see if Kickstarter truly is not beholden to the people who provide them with paychecks.
Oh, I'm sure that they won't, but I just thought it was interesting that there were so many people reporting it. I'm sure that this is probably going to make at least a couple $100,000, and Kickstarter will be glad to take that money.
Yeah. I mean, you're bringing up the fan reaction, or not maybe fans of Penny Arcade, just video game people in general, was pretty grumpy across the board. And my gut instinct is to say some of that's jealousy. Like I was talking about Taylor earlier, we were like spitballing maybe starting a Kickstarter in like this joke alternate future where pigs fly, and it's like we would never be able to raise $5, right? So yeah, you could definitely see how people are, a little bummed out that they can just do that anytime they want. So
well, I think part of the problem here is that the way people view Kickstarter is, I think, a bit skewed. It may very well have been started as an attempt to get people who otherwise wouldn't be able to engage in a product, to get the funding to actually, follow through on that project. But it's proven to become much more useful a tool, chiefly in, rather than creating an audience, as a means of mobilizing that audience. As a means of taking an already existing fan base and making projects that, for whatever reason, wouldn't get greenlit.
Well, I mean, in this instance, it definitely would have got greenlit. They just have to record it. We're doing that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not. I know
you're speaking broadly about the trends. I know. I'm just saying, in this case, that's why perhaps people see it as an abuse. Is because they were like, we could start a podcast, or we could just see how much people will pay us.
And I'm gonna quickly call back to the previous conversation we had of Mr. Warren Spector and Wolfenstein. I do feel that there really should come a point in time where people go, "Fuck it, I'm making a sandwich. I don't give a shit."
It's their money. They can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, and nobody's forcing you to give money to Penny Arcade either. I think that's something that people need to realize too.
And particularly with the $10 goal. With the $10 goal, basically is like there's no conflict here. You don't walk into the Penny Arcade Kickstarter being like, "Oh my God, I really want to hear the podcast," and see that they are tens of thousands of dollars above their Kickstarter goal, and being like, "I don't know, they might not make it without my donation." At this point in time, it really is just sort of like,
it's a glorified tip jar.
Yeah, practically.
Yeah.
I mean, do you appreciate Penny Arcade? Do you want to give them some money for them to keep doing what they're doing? Yeah, okay, fine. And maybe it might be a little less or a little more, depending on what side of the fence you're coming from, tasteless than putting a big donate button on your site, or even a little donate button on your site or something like that, But one way or another, there's nothing, absolutely nothing stopping you from just being like, I'm going to listen to the podcast, but, I'm not going to kickstart it. There's like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to be like, "Oh, but I would feel guilty." No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the kind of thing, it's like, I can't blame them for monetizing it, I guess. Like, just, free market, why not? If you can make money, why not make money? But at the same time, it's kind of strange to my sensibilities where it's like, that's $40,000 that could have went to an indie game developer, I guess.
Well, here's the other thing, too. It's like they already did one huge Kickstarter campaign. Now they're doing this for a podcast. It's like, where do they draw the line anymore? It's like, well, we need a new kitchen, and we don't have the money to do construction for it, so we want you guys to kickstart our kitchen. And if you kickstart our kitchen, we'll give you pictures of the refrigerator. And, hey, if you pay $100, we'll even let you put something in it. It's like, really?
I've actually seen some funny, ones. There was one where it was just like, "Fuck you guys." Goal, no dollars. And the description was like, "Fuck you guys."
I want to start a Kickstarter for me to get loaded. For $5, you can buy me a beer. For $10, you can buy me a beer, and you get to hold it while I drink out of it.
Wasn't there a Kickstarter to buy Kickstarter?
For $15, you can buy me a glass of single malt scotch that you can smell. Stretch goals. If we get above the, say $50 that it would take to get me loaded, if we get above that, extra money will be put towards getting me loaded tomorrow morning as well to get rid of the hangover.
Seems like a vicious cycle, Johnny.
Even more stretch goals will be contributed towards late night food runs, such as paying the taxi driver to get me to the Taco Bell drive-thru at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I wonder if anyone's successfully just kickstarted their life, just been just everything.
Probably not.
Just groceries and rent, and I bet it has happened.
Kickstart your life. Guys,
Yeah.
I don't want to work, so can you just kickstart me a job? I want $40,000 a year. You think we can make that happen?
Well, technically speaking, I guess the Kickstarter guys kickstarted their lives.
That's true.
Yeah.
How do we make a bunch of money off of other people doing things by having people just give us money?
It's like
Hear me out, guys. You've got a great idea? Okay, I'll tell you what. You can use your idea to get money from other people so you can do that idea. But then you have to take some of that money and give it to me because it was my idea.
It's like banks. You give them your money and they take some of it, and then the money goes to other things. They're just some kind of middleman thing.
It is like banks.
Oh, jeez.
I honestly feel that this the $10 target, I feel actually kind of excuses them.
Do you? I've seen some people say that it's just because they couldn't put an actual number. Like if they had asked for $40,000, people would have said it's greedy. So the 10 kind of seems humble.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, they couldn't put $40,000 to do a podcast because it would be greedy. But by putting the $10 down, they are basically legitimately saying to you, listen, we're going to do this.
But then if they're... I've heard that too, and it's if they're going to do it anyway, then why kickstart it?
Well, here's the thing. Why not just go on Indiegogo where you keep the money regardless of how much you make? Kickstarter, it seems sort of unnecessary to even set a goal. You know what I mean?
Because then you have plausible deniability. He's like, we only asked for 10. These people lost their damn minds.
I mean, it's true. Anybody who walks into that Kickstarter and gives them money for a $10 project obviously is walking in with their eyes open. Nobody is getting duped here. Let's be out and out serious. Nobody is getting fooled into giving Penny Arcade their money.
I just realized what this is, guys.
What?
It's the Curiosity Cube.
You know
it's
what?
It's stupid as fuck, but people keep giving their money. Who are we to tell them they're wrong? Fuck it. Do whatever you want with your money. I don't care anymore.
Pretty much. I mean...
I don't know. I feel like any popular thing could just kickstart anything and people would give them money. I mean, I'm trying to think of any popular website. I bet IGN would be like, hey guys, we need 2 floors, but we don't have the money. Help kickstart a 2nd floor for us, and we'll give you a tour. You know what I mean? They'd probably make some money out of it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anyone with any kind of following at all could. I guess the question is just can you sleep at night?
Like I said, I want to start a Kickstarter to get loaded.
That has to be against their rules. They have to have some
make
kind
a documentary out of it, and now it's a film project.
There we go.
If you film it, it's legit.
Yep.
It's like prostitution. If you film it, then it's porn, and that's perfectly legal.
Precisely.
Johnny, you're a prostitute, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, guys. I want to make a documentary about me getting loaded.
I'd be actually curious to see if we could actually get anything from us funded, because we are Q list on the internet.
Oh man.
We could. I don't think we could kickstart a ham sandwich.
Get to the bottom of the barrel, take out the bottom planks, and keep digging.
Man.
Taylor has to leave soon, so I want to hear what he's playing before that happens.
Yeah,
so I
Taylor, fuck it.
Yeah, Taylor, just fuck it. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I feel like we're trying to goad him on to have sex or something.
I'm like, what is it?
You know, Taylor.
It.
Just do it.
Grab the bull by the horns and give it the business.
That was a metaphor, but it actually happened.
What?
No. You haven't seen Dodgeball?
Like a long time ago.
What have you been playing is the point.
God damn it.
What have I been playing? I beat Fire Emblem, finally.
Oh, I heard you sucked at the final level.
Oh,
I did.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to leave for like the next 10 minutes. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Johnny.
So,
How do you fuck up the final level?
No joke, I'm not even kidding. I didn't pair up until the final battle, the whole game.
Why? I explained the pair-up system to you.
It was unnecessary. To me, here's how I thought about it. It's like if I pair up, then I have one less attack. However, if I always keep guys that have high affinity for each other next to each other, I can attack. I'm basically getting 4 turns out of 2 guys, if you're catching my drift. So I was getting basically 1 or 2 shot at it. I'm like, all right, this is crazy. So I had to pair up, and yeah, that was that.
And you're like, oh wow, the game works the way it's designed. I should have been playing it this way the whole time. Because then you can put your paired units adjacent to each other. Think about it.
Yeah.
Dummy. Also, did you equip all the legendary equipment and stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was just picturing you walking in there with like iron swords getting your ass handed to you.
I was actually pretty anal about making sure I always had up-to-date equipment. Like if my killer spear was like 2 out of 26, I would just sell it and buy a new one or whatever. So
yeah.
So I just beat that. I was really just trying to plow through that. So I beat that, played a little bit more Theater Rhythm. I just got Scribblenauts Unlimited for the 3DS yesterday, and I've been playing that for a couple hours.
Did you summon Nyan Cat and Piano Cat?
Yeah, so stupid. I did. They don't really do anything.
Except for violate copyright law.
That's what they're good for. That is what they're good for. But, yeah, I've never played a Scribblenauts game. It was pretty fun. Like, I think I've almost beat the game in, like, a matter of hours. The game is really short. Unless there's more levels that the game is not showing me, which is possible. But I feel like the point of those games is to replay it since there's so many different ways you can solve each puzzle, right?
I mean, the point of the game to me, I played Super Scribblenauts for a long time, was I just did whatever I felt like. I was like, I want to see a zombie squid fighting a giant dildo. That would happen. I don't think you can actually summon dildos. I couldn't think of anything.
That was the greatest sentence to walk back into the conversation on.
You actually left when you talked about Fire Emblem?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, basically I just made it like Super Deathmatch 3000.
I started doing that because I'm like, I'm plowing through this game too fast. I'm going to stop. So I had a pirate fight a ninja in the pirate one. Which
I'm assuming that you guys are talking about Scribblenauts at this point in time. Am I right?
Yes. And then I had a werewolf fight a vampire, and the werewolf lost. And
you
then
know what you can't do in Scribblenauts anymore?
What's that?
Have Keyboard Cat fight Nyan Cat.
You're like 2 minutes behind, Johnny. Way to be late on that joke.
Yep, sorry.
That'll teach you to leave.
Fuck both of you guys. You and your fucking Fire Emblem.
Listen, if you figured out how to work the pair-up system right, we wouldn't have to be having this conversation every week.
But,
yeah, Taylor, it's your fault.
It is my fault. But I beat the game in about 30 hours, and it was fun, and I'm probably going to play again at some point if I run out of things to play.
Are you going to play it as a woman?
I am, yeah.
Crom is mine. Keep your hands off.
Yeah, that's probably what I do, just because it'd be easy. We'd be, like, unstoppable.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what else. Have I played anything else? Not really. I started editing my Tales of Vesperia video, finally, so that should be a thing that comes out at some point.
Tell people about that. Get that shit hype. Gotta build up.
Yeah, well, that's like my most requested video. I went through all the comments on Blister Thumbs and YouTube, and I was like, what is the most requested game? It's like Tales, they just say a Tales game, and then number 2 is Xenoblade. So I was like, okay, I did a bunch of really niche games that people probably didn't care about. So I'm like, let's give them a game that they really want to hear about. So doing Vesperia. Here's my plan. I'm going to try to make like 3 or 4 at once and then slowly release them instead of like stressing myself out and trying to rush them. Mm-hmm. So that way I have like a steady schedule going. So I'll probably do, yeah. So this might not be out soon because I want to wait and make a bunch of them. But yeah, it'll be cool.
I don't know if you want to get into spoilers, but Vesperia is pretty sweet, right?
I would say, so going into it, my favorite Tales game was probably Abyss, and now it's probably Vesperia, just because I like Yuri. Yuri's really cool. I like Rita. She's such like a little smartass. She's fun.
Yeah, the characters are great.
Except for Carol, he's kind of annoying.
Oh yeah, he's the Ken.
Yeah.
It's Persona 3 reference. I don't know if everyone knows, because I assume that everyone knows these things, and I remember Johnny's here.
Well, when you say Ken, I'm sure everybody immediately thinks Street Fighter.
Oh, fuck Street Fighter.
Speaking of Ken and Street Fighter, I recently got re-excited for Project Cross Zone. I was watching a giant trailer for it today. I'm like, oh my gosh, this game's going to be amazing.
I was too. Actually, it happened to me in reverse. I was sitting here earlier just thinking about Xenosaga. It happens to me sometimes. Just for hours, I'll just be like, oh god, Xenosaga. And then that trailer came up, and I was like, yes, Project Cross Zone. It's going to happen.
I know, it's going to be amazing. It's actually a game with Mega Man. This is going to be the first Mega Man game in, like 20 years?
Now, it's not going to be a Mega Man game. Let's not get unreasonable expectations about this.
Oh, no. I'm getting unreasonable here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to be a Mega Man accented game. I will accept this, but I'm pulling a hard line here. It's not going to be a Mega Man game.
Okay, Johnny. Go ahead and rain on my parade.
I'm just trying to keep your expectations. I'm just trying to keep your expectations real, Hoyt.
All right, that's fair, I suppose. But I will be abusing Mega Man throughout the game. He's probably going to kill everything with Zero, and it's going to be awesome. I wonder, do you know, John, I keep calling Austin Johnny. It's awesome. If you can choose your party, or if it's, like, set each fight. Like, I don't really know how the game works.
Yeah, I have literally no idea how it's structured, so I am not the person to be asking. I assume it's like the last one, but I didn't play it, so...
I was going to say, how did the last one work, but I didn't play it either.
Yeah. I'm going to play the shit out of this one. It's already pre-ordered. Even if I get a review copy, I'll have 2. This is happening.
Oh, yeah, that game is going to be ultra rare. Like, they're probably going to ship, like, 30,000 copies, maybe.
Yeah. And the guy at GameStop didn't even know what I was talking about.
It's like, what the hell is this game?
So, yeah, it's going to be super niche and rare, so I made sure to secure a copy early. I mean, yeah, Mega Man's cool, but I'm definitely more excited about the Xenosaga characters. Have you played Xenosaga, Taylor?
I played Xenogears.
That is like Xenosaga, except not.
No, it's the spiritual predecessor.
Yes.
We're going backwards. But yeah, I heard it's one big cutscene, kind of.
The games total, all 3 of them, have about 20 hours of cutscenes together.
That's crazy.
Well, Xenogears has an entire disc of cutscenes.
That's true. They kind of stopped making gameplay in disc 2.
They ran out of money, yeah. So, I love those games despite their shittiness. They are terrible in so many different ways. It's kind of like Drakengard.
Oh god, don't get started on Drakengard.
Less incest than Drakengard, but close.
Less raining babies as well.
Spoilers.
And it also will have our first and probably only look at Valkyria Chronicles 3 characters.
Don't do this to me, Taylor. They're
working on an English localization. There's a website, and they're pretty close to being done. So just buy yourself an import copy and download the patch, and there you go.
I really wish they would do an official release, because I want to give them my money for the people and the stuff. And
yeah, so you buy an import
you buy the
version
game.
On, like, Play Asia or something.
I know. I don't know.
I really want to give them my money, except for the part where I actually give them my money.
Well, no, it's not the official translation. I don't know. I'm being super neurotic about this. I just wish they would really actually put the effort in and localize it.
I don't think the sales apparently for 2 were poor, so there probably just isn't.
Yeah, but I heard 2 sucked.
Yeah, it was like an anime with people with guns. It was not. It was like typical anime characters. They were all like cheery and stuff. It's like, oh, we're gonna go shoot people. Oh, okay, let's make it serious somehow. But,
and apparently 3 is like the polar opposite of that. It's like if anything,
dark.
It's like, yeah, it's unrelentingly like cynical for some reason, which sounds funny.
Sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, that we've established perhaps that I need some help.
Although
a little bit.
Valkyria Chronicles 1 is a kind of meets in the middle. It can be dark at times, but it's pretty happy for the most part.
It's a good balance. It's like, racism, Holocaust, everyone's dying, but friendship. Love, flowers.
Exactly. Baked bread.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like that game a lot.
It's great. It's great. So I think that's all I've been playing. There is another game I've been playing, but you'd punch me in the face, so I'll just pretend that I haven't been playing
No,
it.
come on, you gotta tell me.
I'll give you one fat guess, and you're probably going to get it right.
You keep doing this to me. Are you playing the boob game?
No, not the boob game. I had a little game night, and my friend had not seen Resident Evil 6, so I showed it to him for a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Johnny, you have Resident Evil 6.
I do have Resident Evil 6.
What did you think of it so far from what you played?
I've not played very much of it at all. Let me see here exactly how much time I've dedicated to playing Resident Evil 6, because it's pretty pitifully small.
I'm not even kidding. I would consider selling my PS3 copy to buy it again on PC to play with you.
Resident Evil 6. I've played a little less than 5 hours.
Well, that's pretty good. That's like almost a campaign.
It would be if half of that wasn't starting a campaign with my brother, and then the other half starting a campaign with my buddy Julian.
Okay.
So I've played basically 2.5 hours of Resident Evil 6 Leon's campaign twice. And I gotta say, it's all right. The first 2.5 hours.
I think Leon's campaign is by far the most superior of the four. Spoilers, there's a fourth campaign.
No, it's not spoilers at all. I know there's a fourth campaign.
I know, but some people like to pretend that they didn't know about it, even though it was clearly in all the pre-release press. But anyway, yeah. Does it look pretty good on PC? Because I haven't actually seen it running, but I assume it's 60 frames, 1080, all that good stuff.
Yeah, runs like a dream.
Nice. Those Capcom ports to PC have been really good. So
they have lately, actually. I've been really impressed with them the past couple of years.
Although I think the perfect game to port to PC that they refuse to port is Dragon's Dogma. That game totally belongs on PC.
That seems a little weird that they're not doing it, but I mean, I can't really pretend that I'm deep inside their minds. So I'm quite happy that Remember Me is coming to PC. I'll admit that. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Although there was a bunch of previews that went out lately, and it was pretty mixed. Although I have to say the guy at IGN didn't like it, but I very much disagree with almost every one of his reviews, so I don't really even count that.
It seems like it's going to be a pretty standard brawler with just some cool ideas, some interesting memory stuff happening, but it's not like the gameplay is going to blow anyone's mind. The voice acting seems pretty shitty. I
hadn't expected it to blow anybody's mind. It just looked passing interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll play it, and I'll throw money down on it just for the balls to have a female protagonist.
Yeah,
that's not all big boobs, scantily clad, and
having been quite well defended and explained as being a necessity for the game as well. Because I know the game's creator basically did an interview a little while ago and was like, yeah, it was absolutely imperative that this character be a female, and let me tell you why. And unfortunately I can't remember any of the details of the interview at this point in time, but
even if it wasn't narratively justified, I'm just really bored of muscly dudes.
Yep.
So, even if it was just aesthetic, it helps mix it up a little bit.
I agree. Well, the combat looks fun. It looks like something from the Batman Arkham games, so I'm done with that. I love the combat in that game.
Are we worried about Arkham Origins?
Yes.
Not yet.
Here, there's two reasons why I'm hesitant. Not day one purchase with the last two games. One, it's an origin story, which I can't remember the last good Origins story.
But it's not really an origin story to tell,
he's still Batman the whole time.
He is still Batman the whole time. And I mean, he's obviously enough of a Batman as well that some dude is all I'm going to hire a bunch of hitmen to kill you.
They just didn't want to have to deal with the fallout of the choices they made in Arkham City.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, see, that's the thing then. So who are the enemies? It's like a bunch of assassins, and there's some
It's
guy
like
named Deadshot, and then
Deadshot and Black Mask, and
yeah.
nobody knows who those guys are. Like a passing Batman fan has no idea who those guys are. Like the Joker's not in it, Penguin's not in it. Like
I'm sure they'll show up.
All you have to do is at least just adequately explain the presence of these people. I mean, you can introduce passing fans of Batman to new villains.
Yeah, dude, like Calendar Man was like super cool in Arkham City, and no one knew who that guy was.
Yeah, exactly. All it requires is just a deft hand at setting the situation up properly, and then character development. And I've got to say that so far, I know Rocksteady isn't doing Arkham Origins, but the character development in the Arkham games has so far been pretty tip top. They're, like Warner Brothers as a publisher, obviously not adverse to having a little bit of wordiness in their games. In their action games, I should say, because they published Fear 3.
Yeah. I don't know. My feeling on it is that Arkham Origins will be a perfectly good game. I don't think it'll be what the Arkham City kind of deserved as the next entry.
Yep, I think it will probably be better than Arkham Asylum, but not even close to as good as Arkham City. Simply for the fact that like every villain ever was in that game, and it was bigger. I can't imagine how big the space is going to be in Arkham Origins. Yeah, are they going to have like a full-scale Gotham City? Like, I can't imagine, but you never know.
That's the word, isn't it? It's supposed to be like a factor of like 3 or 4 times bigger than Arkham City. Is that right?
Really?
Well, I think that's what it was, because didn't they wall off like part of Gotham for that, and now it's just going to be like all of Gotham?
Yeah, that's what I read somewhere.
So it makes sense that's bigger, yeah. The problem, of course, is density. Is it going to be like a bunch of samey buildings with nothing to do if they're going to pack it with content?
Well, see, that's the thing. They what's the word? Cleverly or conveniently are telling this story on the night of Christmas Eve, so nobody's going to be on the street, so that way they won't have to populate it. Everybody's in their houses, guys. So that's sort of like a funny little way out.
That's not necessarily true, because we've seen crowd dynamics been done pretty like decently well this generation with games like Assassin's Creed and upcoming Watch Dogs. And I mean, whereas because Arkham Origins is going to be cross-generational, isn't it? It's going to be for next gen as well as current gen?
I don't know about that. I
don't know if I saw confirmation of that. I'd have to look. I don't remember them saying that.
Because, well, when those games get made, basically they design it for the super good tech so that they can show that at E3, so they can amp that on the advertisements and like have, all these extra features, and then just sort of be like, well, and you can also get it for Xbox 360 if you want.
Poor Wii U.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the Wii U before, I don't think it's going to fail as a system because it's fucking Nintendo, but yeah, their concessions to the North American regular gamer are obviously a little late.
Well, when you don't even have Madden, like the game that's on every system, not going to be on your system for the first time ever, like that's bad. That's horrible.
It's not even. Well, here's the thing, though. Madden sold terribly on Nintendo systems. It's not even like financially worth it for them to release it. It's just symbolic of the support. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now it's not even symbolically important. Yeah. It's just like, you know what, you guys are failing, and we're not even going to bother anymore.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it'll still end up with a great library of games. I don't know if we have time to go off on a Wii U tangent, guys.
Probably not.
Probably not. Did you play games, Johnny? You usually don't. You're the new Leon.
Yeah, I am the new Leon, apparently. The ones I played this week, not really, I guess, that impressive. Not ones that I have really, much to say about. I played a little bit more Baldur's Gate 2. I'm sort of like, one by oneing a Skyrim quest every now and again. Trying to get, closer and closer to actually finally, getting into the DLC. I played, 5 minutes of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So I don't really have much to say about that. I played You know what's funny actually? I played a little bit of the Ghostbusters video game, the old Terminal Reality one. I felt like revisiting that just for like, a level or something like that. Um, it's fun. I like it. I think it's good. There's not really much to say about it. As a game, it's everything I expect it to be. It's fucking Ghostbusters, top to bottom. But the one I played the most this week was probably Saints Row the Third, actually. I got into one of the DLC packs, The Trouble with Clones. It's fucking hilarious. Like it is legitimately hilarious.
Have you seen the trailer for 4? Where
I'm well aware of absolutely everything that 4 is all about.
The psychic president.
Yeah, the psychic president who is also a like sociopathic gang leader. Who I was really looking forward to that yellow tuxedo with the top hat too. I mean that right there is
I worry about Saints Row getting to a certain point where there's just nowhere left to go. Like the Bayonetta thing. It's like, how do you top that ending? It's like, at a certain point, you got to scale it back. I feel like 4 is going to be the top of the mountain.
Probably, that I don't doubt that. I think after that, they're probably going to struggle to find somewhere else to go with it. But I'm kind of okay with that. Because I don't really want Saints Row to be this never-ending, perpetual effort to try and ramp things up. Because this is one of the things that I find interesting about Saints Row. It's almost that it's fully aware of the problem with franchises in video gaming nowadays.
It's not content to stagnate. It never plays it safe.
And this is the thing, is that so many of the super $1 million franchises, the AAA games that we get, and I know that THQ struggled to be recognized as a quote unquote AAA developer right before they went bankrupt. But it's like Call of Duty, your Battlefields, BioWare, they've all struggled so hard to top themselves without tipping their hand too much, the military shooter, the military first-person shooter. It's like, oh my god, he's got a nuke. Okay, well in the next game he has to have 2 nukes. Okay, well in the next game it's got to be 4 or 5 nukes, and they've got to be in a bunch of different cities around the world. Okay, in the game after that, it's got to be a nuke that gives everybody herpes. Only it's in an orphanage, and you see all the children get herpes. They're constantly in this desire to sort of, at the same time, play it close to their chest, but at the same time, they feel the need to continually amp up the dramatic stakes. And that works once, maybe twice. 3 times you're pushing it. And BioWare fucked up in the Mass Effect games, because 2 was the stakes were super high amped. And then when Mass Effect 3 came out, it was the stakes are Earth. Oh yeah, by the way, Earth has been attacked. So save it! But, go through all this, taxiing around the galaxy first.
Find all the artifacts for the diplomats you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it was they tried to amp up the stakes without actually having you, have to be concerned or feel like you were pressured to do anything, and that didn't work. But fucking Saints Row is just okay, how do we amp it up? Oh, I know. Well, after getting released from prison in the first one, you come back, you reclaim the city, and you kick this ass at this big corporation. Okay, well, how do we amp it up from that? All right, how about the Saints are this multi-million-dollar corporate brand? They're fucking celebrities. Everybody loves them. They have their own clothing lines. They have their own vehicles. They have sports drinks and commercials on TV, and everybody loves them, but they're still psychopaths. Okay, how do we amp that even up? I know. Superpowers, president, alien invasion. You're in. Every single time they've come back to the table, they've come back with this, super inflated idea of actually how to properly inflate the situation of the world, of the game, without alienating the players, without contributing too little, or without yet hitting a ceiling, and then just repeatedly hitting that ceiling again, which is what I feel like the modern military shooter is doing.
You know, another thing, hearing you say that makes me think is there's a sense that they don't care about preserving, like, the brand in the long term. It's like, we're going to do what makes the best game now. It's kind of like what made Mortal Kombat and Arkham City work for me. It was like, they're going to take risks and do things that may make sequels difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and there's something to be said for that. It's always annoying whenever you jump into a product thinking that it's going to be like self-contained, and then immediately at the you reach the end of it and you're like, well, that was a whatever experience. It's most annoying when it's actually a satisfying experience, and then they go, oh, guess what? Like that shit shouldn't happen. You should be making a game for the now. You should be making a game that reacts to gaming tropes and gaming problems that currently show up. If you're making a first-person shooter and the market is just destroyed with first-person shooter overload, you have to distinguish yourself. You need to change things. And I think you're right about that. I think they're not really concerned with preserving the brand. They are. Yeah, no, that's a pretty accurate assessment. I quite like that. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Austin? Seeing as how I played a bunch of stuff that I've already laid out my opinions quite thoroughly in past episodes of this podcast.
Oh, man, I done goofed.
Uh-oh.
I started Disgaea 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which is about 100 more hours of RPG than I should be getting myself into right now.
Probably.
Now, on the PS2 or like the PSP, or are you playing the PSP version on your Vita? How are you tackling this bad boy?
You just said a lot of different things. I'm playing the PS2 Classic version on my PS3.
Oh, I forgot about that version, yeah.
The one you forgot. Yes. There's a lot of different ways to enjoy Disgaea. But I'm going old school. I know there's like the newer version with all the other content or whatever, but, there's not enough content. It's Disgaea, for the love of Christ. You play one of these games for the rest of your life.
You literally could play these games forever, because, not only are there story missions, but then you can level up your weapons. And the way you level up your weapons is each weapon has their own little battle map inside it, and you could do that infinitely. So, yeah.
Weapons? Dude, each item is a set of dungeons. Every stick of gum in the game is a randomly generated series of dungeons. This game is ludicrous. The level cap, isn't it 9,999?
I thought it was just 99, but you could be right. I wouldn't be
No, it's definitely higher than 99. I think it's either 999 or 9,999. I have to check. It's ridiculous, and you have, of course, this huge party of customizable characters that each not only can they hit that level cap, but then you can reincarnate them with stat boosts to reach it again to have higher overall stats. Are you receiving what I'm sending out?
Yeah,
never enough. This guy, never.
And it'd be one thing if it was just a boring grind, but it's a genuinely charming, goofy, fun adventure, with reasonably likable characters and has good jokes and a fun art style and good music. It's I mean we rag on Nippon Ichi a lot because they localize some weird shit, but this is all of the best things from the different games they localize. It's it's a little grindy, it's a little perverted, but it's the best possible expression of all those different quirks.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't wait. They're doing a direct sequel to the first one, and it's coming out this year. It's going to be amazing.
I'm pretty excited. I miss those guys. I mean, you still see them throughout the games, but they're probably the best cast.
Mm-hmm, for sure. I liked... the one I played the most was 3 on the Vita. I think because I had to review it, but I agree. Yeah, Edna and Laharl, and it should be fun.
Yep. Johnny has no idea what we're talking about.
Not especially.
I need to play more Western games so Johnny and I have something to talk about. I've been on a really weird, Japanese bender for 3 months.
It adds variety.
Variety is good. Oh, what else? I've been playing, mostly Disgaea, but I also finished Soul Sacrifice. It feels like it was so long since I've played it because we delayed the podcast. But yeah, after playing it for review, I finished it all up, did all the quests and stuff. Got 30 or 40 hours into it. It tucked it in. It was all good. Deleted it off my Vita. Solid. It's weird though, because I mean, it reviewed okay. I got 7s and 8s. I was a little bit more excited about it than a lot of people seem to be. But reading reviews, because mine, I think I had like the first review on the internet. It like went up at embargo. I think the only people who had a review besides me was like Destructoid at that hour. It was like 3 a.m. Reading other reviews, they seem to have some weird ass criticisms. Like one I ran across was like, if you get cornered, the monsters will maul you to death. Like, and
you're
you
just playing the game wrong, idiot.
Yeah, it's like the monsters are the size of houses, right? If they corner you, yeah, they're gonna maul you to death. Don't get cornered. That's called strategy. That's not a flaw. That's not a bug. It's a feature. There's another one. It's like, oh, flying enemies are hard to hit because there's only several like accurate ranged weapons. It's like, how long did you play? Because every map that has flying enemies also has ground-based ones, and when you kill a ground-based ones, they all like swoop down to like vulture on it. It's actually, they're like the easiest enemies to kill because you just kill one tiny little guy, and then they all just kind of descend in a swarm of easily killed flying dudes.
See, when you say stuff like that, it makes me think the other reviewers didn't play the game very long.
Yeah, I mean, once again, maybe they did and they just didn't notice that. To me, it felt like a super easy strategy. I don't think I'm on any kind of like high level here. Like, I'm just thinking of like crazy ass plans that no one else considered. So it's weird to me that is a thing. I mean, other people obviously, like Taylor, you said you just didn't like the art style and the content was just a little gross and weird for you, which is fine. That's totally legitimate.
Yeah, I think another game that's similar, Ragnarok Odyssey, it was probably more up my alley, although probably not nearly as polished.
Yeah.
But yeah, the art style was just kind of unappealing. I'm sure it's fun, though.
Also, like, people said it's grindy. What's like, I mean, it's a Monster Hunter style game. I mean, it's like being mad that a JRPG has turn-based combat. It's just kind of, it's just what it is.
Yes,
but
but Austin, don't you find first-person shooters a little shooty?
they're a little bullety.
Just a bit.
I was trying to remember there was that really old Penny Arcade thing when I think it was Enchanted Arms came out, and they were talking about how everyone slammed it for being so Japanese. And then, like, I would think if you didn't like turf or kicking, you would have the good sense to avoid soccer.
Yeah, I find it a bit sportsy.
But yeah, I mean, you can grind, I guess. I never had to. I never played a single mission twice in Soul Sacrifice, and I got through the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you wanted to grind, that's the thing. That's why I like it so much more than Monster Hunter. Is that you don't need to grind for equipment. If you just play smart, you can beat the game with any loadout, and there's so many different things. There's like hundreds of different whatever. You guys don't care. I liked it a lot.
Good.
And it's good. So that's what I've been playing. I don't know if I'm actually going to finish this guy anytime in the near future. I'll probably have to start some other games to play simultaneously, so I have something to talk about on the podcast.
That's where I fail.
You're just playing like 10 minutes of like games from the 90s every week.
I've been so just fucking like all my fucking spare time, and I found out today that the fucking apartment that I was applying for got snaked out from under me.
Solid snaked?
No, pretty
liquid snake.
Pretty liquid snake, pretty dastardly, pretty unpleasant, pretty underhanded, pretty under, just generally. So now I'm back on this whole, apartment hunting kick again. Woo, go me. It was ripping up my weekends, which is where, I get to play most of my video games these days, so.
I like to think that from a listener's perspective, we don't exist outside of this podcast. Like, we play games and we talk to them, and we don't have actual, like, real lives. We don't have feelings and wants and desires.
Oh, it's true. I don't actually play any games. I just get briefings before I come in on the podcast.
We've been at this for and Taylor was really late, so that's why our time is inflated. Do you want to, what were you talking about? Like, we wanted to rock, and then we weren't ready to rock, and it was scarring to us?
I think the lesson that we've all learned today is after a hot shower, when you've adequately dried off, make sure that you properly moisturize your face, or else the excess of oils that your body will create to compensate for that will cause more problems for acne than if you were to just dry naturally.
What the fuck, Johnny?
I don't even know what you just said.
It's dermatology. Dermatology, assholes.
Dermatology assholes.
Sounds more like derpatology, am I right? High five.
This whole episode's been like really Mad Libs.
It's true though. Actually, after you shower, after you wash your face and things like that, you should when you let it dry.
Do you guys want to just talk about politics and religion for a while now? We almost went down that trail. I was frightened.
Thank you for calling me back from the edge. I almost went away forever.
There's one of these episodes where we're just not going to be able to stop you in time, and you're just going to be like, that damn Obama. I'm Canadian, and it doesn't really affect me, but you know he's up to something. Look at him.
So, speaking of Insomniac, what do you guys think of this Fuse game? Do you think it's going to bomb? Do you think it'll be okay? I mean,
Sean's pretty excited about it, so I'm not.
If Sean's not excited about it, fuck it. I don't give two shits.
It's a shooter. I don't know. I've shot dudes. The dude shooting has commenced. I don't know what. I don't know.
Nothing about the game looks special in like any way. It's like, ooh, you can shoot guys with 4 people. Cool.
It'll probably be fine. I'm not pre-ordering it or anything.
No, I'm not even gonna bother. Although the one game that I do want to play co-op that actually looks kind of cool is that Ninja Turtles game, the little download one, Out of the Shadows or something.
Yeah, I know it. I have no nostalgia for Turtles.
Turtles were the fucking shit when I was little. I was all about the Turtles. I couldn't get enough of them.
Power Rangers and Pokemon for me.
Oh, you already know how much of a Pokemon fan I was when I was little. You have photo evidence. And I was definitely a big Power Rangers fan too. It was like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Pokemon, and then Japanese anime boobs. And then it was all downhill from there.
Japanese anime boobs?
No, I think it was Dragon Ball Z before that. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon were kind of at the same time.
I didn't even see any anime besides Pokemon and Digimon until like late middle school, and that was like Gundam Wing, and I don't think there's any boobs in that.
Oh, Gundam.
Gundam's pretty sweet.
It is. When did you get into anime, Johnny?
Back in the 80s. There was this thing called Robotech that was on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So Taylor, you know the Digital Devil story novel thing that all the Megami Tensei games are based on?
Nope.
Okay, well, all the Megami Tensei games are based on, or they trace back to a novel that the first game was based on.
Uh-huh.
It was written like the mid '80s, and I was curious why it had never been localized. Like there isn't an English version of the original story. I found out the reason.
Uh-huh.
The reason is tentacle rape.
Oh, jeez.
Isn't it always, really?
Yeah. On one hand, I wasn't surprised, but on the other hand, I was kind of sad because I was like, I wanted to read it. There is an English translation, I just haven't bothered because, like, knowing that, it's like, it's going to be like, all I'm going to be able to think about the first half, and then it's going to happen, and then all I'm going to be able to think about the second half. It just hangs over it.
Oh, jeez.
So, Japan.
Oh, jeez.
It's just weird to think. It's like if there wasn't that tentacle rape book written in the mid '80s, we wouldn't have Persona.
Thank God for tentacle rape.
Oh, that's staying in the book. I think that'll be the end.
That'll be the title. Thank God for tentacle rape.
No,
either that or that should be the stinger. That should just be like right at the beginning. Thank God for tentacle rape. Bum 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 bum.
I was thinking about like maybe changing the theme song at like the 50th episode, but now it's too good. It's like people expect it.
Yeah. Did somebody make that for you, or is that like a thing you found? Or
no, it's an OC remix of the Donkey Kong theme song.
It's a Donkey Kong song
from the original Donkey Kong for the arcade. Like when Mario's running up the girders to get to Donkey Kong, you play Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
It's the song that plays when you turn it on.
Oh. Boo-biddy boop. Boo-biddy-boop-boo. I don't know. I haven't heard that song in a while, so.
Yep, that's it. And it's just like a metal version from Overclocked Remix.
Nice.
Yep. I don't even know what I would change it to. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like people are kind of used to it, and they like it.
Yeah.
It's to the point.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. It's you don't want to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
You want to just kind of hit it and quit it.
And quit it.
That's how Johnny rolls.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Dirty and something that rhymes with dirty.
We are, guys, you ever just stop and think, man, we are dumb. We're just some dumb guys on the internet.
Yeah, maybe.
Only occasionally.
I think we need to take time to acknowledge this.
But then very quickly afterwards, my super ego makes up for it. And I go, yeah, but everybody else is dumber.
It makes it okay. It's been a while since we've had a short stinger. Like, we had it for the first, 10 episodes. It was just, a funny phrase and we started. But, since then, people have been telling me to keep all the stuff in. So it's been, 10 minutes. It's like, I imagine some people forget that the theme song hadn't started yet. And, 10 minutes in, they get, jolted by it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because I asked, I'm like, okay, we talked about peanut butter and jelly for 20 minutes. Should I leave this in? And 20 messages, yes. Oh God, I need it so hard, please, in my mouth.
In my mouth.
And I'm like, okay, if that's what they want. Okay, I think I'm gonna go now. 2.5 hours of Johnny. It's good. It's been a good day for Johnny relations, but gotta edit this.
Happy anniversary, Austin!
No.
You broke my heart.
Yes.
What heart?
Ooh.
That's a good point.
All right, I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, Robot Austin.
Bye, guys.
Hey, Robot Johnny.
Wait, are we robots?
Because the Skype call is all, crackly. It's like...
I thought you had discovered... never mind. Sorry. It's classified.
I don't know what you are talking about.
Affirmative.